let's take a look at the news here today, May 19th, 2022. Let's start out with Greater Than Games a few years ago, actually more than a few years ago, bought Dice Hate Me Games. Recently, Greater Than Games was acquired by the Flat River Group, which is a big conglomerate which happens to have a pretty large booth at Gen Con. Speaking of Gen Con, folks, we're doing a live show at Gen Con that you can sign up for. It's Friday, 2 o'clock. We're doing a top 10 live. Anyway, back to Greater Than Games and Dice Hate Me. They're breaking up, but this is. It's not like well, at least the public thing here is it's not a bad thing. Just Dice Hate Me Games is basically splitting off. This is a little similar to Plaid Hat leaving Asmodee, with the exception of Asmodee looks like a big evil corporate monster comparatively, while Greater Than Games, which is best known for Sentinels in the Multiverse and Spirit Island.
Spirit Island, yeah.
Name their top 3 games.
In order.
Oh, publishers. I think publishers would actually be easier than designers. But I don't know.
There you go. There's your next
Anyhow,
game show.
So actually, though, this is interesting. Greater Than Games kept Compounded, Bottom of the Ninth, and Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Keeping Compounded and Bottom of the Ninth is a little odd because those seem to be the 2 strongest games from Dice Hate Me Games.
They're redoing Compounded,
Dice Hate Me Games is keeping Dark Dealings, Spires, and Fate of the Other Gods, of which only really Fate of the Other Gods is the one I know from that group. Dice Hate Me Games, from Chris Kirkman, he said he's excited about it, having new things. Oh, that's right, they merged in 2015, so it's almost been a decade.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is interesting. I don't know what else to tell you about it. Then we'll just have to watch and see. There is a Dice Hate Me podcast. I'm sure they'll talk more about it on that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
Yep.
All right, Snakes and Lattes has 2 new U.S. locations.
Oh.
They're in Glendale, California, and Provo, Utah. Although the Provo store, they bought Good Move Cafe. It says it will continue to operate under its legacy name. Does that mean original?
I think it'll be the original name, yeah.
It's weird to use the word legacy there.
In gaming especially, yeah.
But I guess it has a strong following in that community. The Glendale store is Game House.
Oh.
As far as I can tell from this thing here, it looks like Game House was going out of business.
Okay.
And so Snakes and Lattes bought it. Terrible parking, but that was a great game. It's a game cafe I went to. Remember, I went and played. Yeah, I went and played with Rich Summer and that. That was there. So.
Okay.
I'd love to go to a Snakes and Lattes one day. I've never been to one.
It is
good.
Hands down the best board game cafe I've ever been to. I went to one of the ones in Toronto. Actually, we've been to
2. Yeah.
2 of the ones in Toronto. Actually, I think we went to all 3.
I've been to 6.
No. Remember, we went to one and walked to the other.
Yeah, that was the 2 I'm thinking of.
Oh, you didn't go the following year. They took us to the other location.
I don't think I was there.
Okay.
I was hanging out in California with my friends.
Anyway, they are amazing cafes. Not only is the food exceptional, the servers are just like on top of their
Yeah. It's important.
game.
Very good.
They can knock this game out of the park that we just did, right? I mean, they would have scored much better than both of you.
Than both of us.
Sure.
Yes.
Moving on to things that matter. Catan Seaside Resort here. This is not a news. The news item is Rollacrit is doing swag for Catan and Gen Con. Rollacrit, which by the way does amazing stuff.
Yeah, I really like the look of that.
I have their Gelatinous Cube shirt.
Okay.
But this is a great shirt. I really like this shirt.
Yeah, I do too. Even if you're not necessarily into gaming, it kind of has that retro tee look. I like the
people are going to ask you like, "Oh, where is this?"
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Z hates everything about it.
No, I like it. I'm just trying to figure out what we're talking about. Just they're offering shirts.
Yeah, so
and merchandise.
So this is the company that made that. You'll remember the Kickstarter game Heroes of Arcadia, where your hit points were the shot glass
on the drink. Yeah.
Yes, but they also make swag. So last year they did Gen Cons, and we talked about because their stuff was really good.
Okay.
They had that Gelatinous Cube shirt I liked. They did a lot. Their stuff just looks great.
And so they're back.
They're back, kind of.
They're back, and I guess this is they're also working with Catan.
Yeah, if you go to their website, this is just one example. They do like a whole line of stuff where they're kind of putting these classic games in,
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, it's fantastic design, yeah.
All right, so Fog of Love, the company for Fog of Love, due to just sordid nonsense behind the scenes, basically went out of business. But it was bought by, is it Floodgate? I think I want to say Floodgate. Anyway, it's back. It's back. And now we have Love on Lockdown because this is one of the few times where I would accept a coronavirus-themed game, because most of them are trash.
Yeah, this at least kind of fits with the theme of the game.
Well, definitely, there was a lot of talk over the last 2 years of how quarantine affected relationships.
Sure.
You know, I still haven't played this game.
I have not either. I have not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I always got the impression that you had to be very mindful of who you played it with, that it would really affect the experience of the game depending upon who you played it with.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it is.
I guess it depends how serious you take it.
It's sort of it's a weird, basically, relationship RPG. There's not much of a game there, is my point.
Yeah.
It's like a storytelling device, almost, more than anything else.
Right.
It's fine. I reviewed it forever ago.
It still seems to have a following, so.
Oh, for sure. Well, I'm glad it's back. I'm glad that the stuff with the original company didn't keep it out.
Yeah.
All right. So, Breaking Games back in the day published a lot of trash. They did, straight up.
Yeah.
But they had one gem in there called the Game of 49, which looked like trash. And I played it, I was like, this is a pretty good game.
Yeah.
They're remaking it now as Zillionaires of Mars.
Big Potato is doing it.
Big Potato. Well, that does sound like a Big Potato name.
That's interesting, because Big Potato is normally very much party games.
The Game of 49...
It's not a party game. It's an economic game. It has some sort of...
But it's like a kind of a woohoo type of party game. I can see that.
Adjacent, maybe?
Yeah, but it is it's a bidding game. And, you know, there you make money, you're bidding, you're trying to line things up. So I'm surprised that Big Potato are the ones who are republishing this. Unless they're adding more kookiness to it, and that might be the case.
Well, one of the things is the dollar values are now in the zillions, which I think would be hilarious. I'm bidding $20 zillion.
All right, you've played too much QE.
Oh, man, I was just about to say QE joke.
Well, you know, it's...
All right.
Z's anticipating your every move.
Who knows if it's good or bad news, War of the Ring, the card game, is coming from Ares.
Roy?
You chose to skip.
Did I skip something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's there. It's a different spot on mine.
It got moved around a little bit, yeah.
Okay, hang on. We'll jump to this news then.
What are we talking about?
Thunderstone Quest, baby!
Okay, so Thunderstone Quest. There's more quests coming, blah, blah, blah. But...
yeah.
Here's the real
news. I mean, it's 12 and 13. Yeah, whatever. It's coming to Kickstarter, which they've been doing for a while, but they have announced that you are only getting Thunderstone Quest via Kickstarter. So this is something that a couple other companies done. Plaid Hat did it with Ashes.
Oh,
right. Like you get it through their website, not Kickstarter, but not retail.
Sure.
So this is interesting because more and more. I remember back in the day, I went to at the Gamma Trade Show. There was a thing about why Kickstarter is good for retail stores, and they were like, "Don't worry, anything at Kickstarter will be available in retail stores." And then a couple companies did a few things, the Batman game, a few games that did not go to retail, but that is becoming increasingly more common.
It really is.
I mean, really common to the point now where here's a company, AEG, that deliberately puts stuff in retail stores all the time.
Sure.
Yep.
And one of their biggest games is now not going to be in retail. I don't know if that's bad or good. I just think it's interesting.
What is also interesting is that you notice that there are certain retailers that, because things aren't coming to retail, are backers themselves to get into their stores to kind of circumvent that.
The problem is, unless there's a retail pledge, and there isn't always.
No.
If there's not a retail pledge, then I'm going to have to do a 50% markup.
I know.
Which is still cheaper than people on eBay.
Aftermarket. That's the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a different look if you're offering it in your store.
Yeah, but you would have to say, look, I paid full price.
I mean,
100%. Yeah, you have to make some
The
profit.
other option is sometimes you can get in touch with the Kickstarter people off-brand.
Off books.
Be like, look, I'm going to, not off books, but I mean, off books sounds seedy.
Off books.
Off-brand sounds wrong.
No, but off
under the
Kickstarter. No, but you can
behind the government's back.
Look, I'll buy 30 of these games.
Right.
You know, whatever.
Meet me at this alley.
I've got these magic beans.
All right. I'm so glad we're taking the news seriously here. Let's move on to...
That is interesting. That is interesting. So we're jumping back, yes.
War of the Ring, the card game. So this is from Ian Brody, which is interesting because the War of the Ring was designed by the trio of designers, and most of those games from Ares are like that.
Yeah.
So Ian Brody is...
Do we know who that is?
Top 3 games.
Go. Brody.
I feel like I should know that name.
You know his cousin.
Quartermaster General.
Right.
Oh, Tom just got excited.
Right.
No.
Tom just got apprehensive.
Unexcited.
Apprehensive.
Because I've only played 2 games from Ian Brody. I've actually met him. Quartermaster General or Quartermaster, and then his Operation Neptune. Oh no, I played Santa's Bag. I gave that one. What did I give it here? A 7. The other ones I did not rank very highly.
Okay.
This is more Santa's bag than Quartermaster General.
I said this.
It might be a retheming of Santa's bag.
On the continuum of Santa's bag.
It's, the original title was Hobbit's Sack.
So you control different factions using a unique deck. They're demoing it at the UK Games Expo, which is in like a week or 2.
Oh wow! So it's ready to go.
Well, they're demoing it, so I'm
still laughing at this.
I hope it's good. I'm ignoring this. You've been watching CNN.
Oh man!
All right.
That's great.
Next, we have from Randy Flynn, the designer of Cascadia, or one of the designers of Cascadia, I guess. Has a new game coming from Crafty Games, which is that group that put out Cascadia and stuff. Tabriz?
That's what I would say. I love that cover.
Spray the couch? I don't know.
I really like that cover with kind of that space at the top with the light coming through. I don't know, that really works for me.
I do, and if you ever go to one of these open markets that has this, I love just walking through them.
Yeah.
Like where it's partially covered but the light comes in. I love that.
Just it's
That being said, the theming of the game, I'm like, oh, an open market, walking through stalls, great.
There's a lot of those, but I do like
However, Crafty has a pretty strong reputation at this point.
And Cascadia is like a darling right now. It really is.
All right. Kuzuku, who I believe ruled the Incans.
Kazuka?
No, it's Kuzku. Anyway, zoo animals are trying to escape on a kind of a weird cover. That lion.
This is
Leo Colavini.
Why does the background, I don't know what kind of game this is, if I'm jumping ahead here, stop me. Is this supposed to be a macro game?
I don't believe so. No. You are getting cards to make an escape plan. You're moving on the board. It has nothing to do with macro.
What background might as well be macro?
Yeah, who killed the sloth? We're gonna trace the steps
Guys,
to find out who killed the sloth.
I would like to talk more about the face of that lion.
Let's discuss.
Horrifying.
That is a human being pretending to be a lion.
That's an uncanny valley lion.
That lion looks like he's on dialysis.
He said he smokes, but
he's not well. Like he's definitely ill. He's not well.
Yeah, there's nothing okay about that lion.
Oh goodness. Yeah, you're right.
All right, well, we'll see.
Okay.
Actually, the idea of them... Wait a minute.
Did you see the lion on the back cover? It's not any better there.
They're escaping from a zoo.
Oh, geez.
Wait, did Calvini do... He didn't do the...
No, he didn't.
Who did that one? The escape from the prison.
Cartagena?
Yeah, who did that?
That's his.
That is Colavini, yeah.
I think that's what this is.
But that had a
macro though, right?
You get off the stupid macro
Cartagena had like that kind of like track.
Well,
board,
look.
Right?
Look into the lion's eyes.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Tom. I wonder if this is
his eyes and feel.
It says they either propose a new escape. No, it does sound like it's different.
Yeah, but it's maybe a riff on that. Ah!
Wait, he's got a pencil behind his ear also?
Oh, he does. I didn't catch that little detail.
That's why he looks that way. It's the stress from the job.
Colavini also has this game called Atlantis. That this might be a reworking of.
I hate that game so much.
But it's kind of similar to Cartagena, with the lining things up. I don't know.
Oh, it's a cooperative game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a cooperative escape from the zoo.
Oh, well, there you go. Never mind then.
Moving on. Okay.
Okay, now Roy's got to get it all back.
I love it.
He's got to put it all back together again.
I'm all in on this.
Where's Santa's
From Yellow, we have Break the Cube. It's a 3D puzzle-solving game where you are trying to guess the outline of a 3D shape by asking your opponents questions.
So it's like a riff on Ubongo, maybe, or?
I think it's I think, if I'm guessing, it's going to be similar to that Jonathan Gilmour game.
It was that called? I forget. But yeah, this whole
Where
you only know part of the information and you're trying to figure out what the shape looks like.
Got it. Yeah.
That's fun. It's a deduction kind of game. Figure out what other people see from their point of view and try to build the thing that matches it.
Yeah.
I don't hate that cover either.
I like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think this was a game that they're reprinting. I feel like I've seen this before.
Okay.
Maybe only in German, and maybe they're reprinting.
Well, speaking of reprinting,
Das Cube, yes.
we have Dominion Prosperity 2nd Edition.
Let's talk about that.
So, Dominion, which has 14 expansions, and they refuse to fix the name.
What do you mean, fix the name?
The font of Dominion
It's
is
a great
still...
font, Tom.
The only thing better than the font is that little "This is an expansion box." That is class.
Anyhow, this is actually my favorite expansion from Dominion by far.
Big money.
Big money.
Right?
Yeah, big money. So what they're doing in this
No
is they're doing the
whammies.
same thing they did in the 2nd editions of Dominion and Dominion Intrigue. Did they skip Seaside? I think they did. Anyway, so it has 9 cards they pulled out and put 9 new cards in, but you can also buy an upgrade pack with just the new
Just the
cards.
cards,
They
okay.
also, if they're gonna, I'm assuming, if they copied the first ones, they also clarified the language on the cards a little more.
Yeah,
They're changing it up.
Got it.
I don't think it's that big of a deal, but this is I love this expansion. I really do. I'm curious which cards they pull out and put in.
Are you going to get the upgrade pack, or?
I'll probably get the whole thing and look at it. Again, because I like the new look of the cards. The modernized
Okay.
things.
About the money, they changed the money, the way the money looks. Is that
No,
what
it's
you're
not just the
talking about?
money. I'm talking about like the symbols on
They
the
added
cards instead of. That's not a terrible cover. I mean,
No, it's a terrible cover.
the
Tom.
picture.
I'm sorry.
The picture. I'm taking
No,
everything
no,
out.
Tom, who's the designer of that game? Exactly. If you didn't know, you can't see it. It's lost
my
in
word,
the
you're
trees.
right.
This is terrible cover.
Lost in
terrible
the
cover.
trees. All right. Okay, and news that will make Chris dive into the room. Kingdom's Dragons, which is a retheming of Aladdin's Dragons with a way worse name.
That is rough. I know that the key games are a thing, but
Yeah.
Kingdom's Dragons is no bueno.
Yeah, it's not good. They did change player count too. They added a 1 and 2 player variant. And they made it go up to 6.
I thought it already did go to 6. Maybe it only went to 5. Anyway, there's also a spooky variant where you can invite a ghost or 2 to join you. Does anyone like doing that? I don't get it. So that's where you have a one.
You take the solo variant and you throw it into a multiplayer game to have a bot with it.
So the other day there was a game that I was going to play with somebody, and we opened it up and looked, and the 2-player game required an AI, and I packed it up.
Sure,
because I don't want to do that. I get that you sometimes have to.
I'd venture to say most people would rather not play with a bot if they're playing in a multiplayer game. I'm a solo player, and I would rather not play with a bot in a multiplayer game.
Well, solo makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It depends how sort of upkeepy it is.
Sure,
you
yeah.
know?
but I do like Aladdin's Dragons a lot. I really like the theme of Aladdin's Dragons. I would have rather they just kept that with an update on art and whatever else.
I guess he wants to tie all the games together, but Kingdom is. Oof.
Yeah.
Maybe just
Wow, so when are they reprinting Cathedral?
Never. You got to keep
Yeah,
that. Got to keep
that's
that a
the
Grail
one.
game, baby. You got to
That's
keep
like-
it $200 on eBay. You can't.
By the way, if someone out there is selling a copy of Cathedral, let me know. I want one for the library.
$20.
All right. Cartographers.
Top 3 games, Richard Breeze. Go.
Ooh, they're all key games.
Keyflower,
Yes.
number 1.
Yes.
Did you do it already?
Oh, no, but you ruined my joke. I was going to say, you did well.
Keep going, go.
All right. Cartographers. We're really off our game today. Cartographers is, we were talking today about roll and writes, and
Yes.
Cartographers is easily one of the most popular roll and writes out there.
It's got legs.
This is
Not a lot of
expansions
them do.
4, 5, and 6, just like Thunderstone. This is the last time we talk about them.
Now that is good artwork.
I agree.
Especially 4 and 6. Not 11 5.
Yeah. No,
I was actually going to say 5. If I didn't know better and I looked at that, I would think, oh, that's in German.
Yeah, I guess so.
I like
But
it
that
because
6 is my favorite. That's a gorgeous cover. That's fantastic. Well, very legible, really good looking. And that Frozen Expanse, that looks like a novel.
Yeah, it's
like,
great.
It's just really good.
they're all neat and they're all really nice and they're all distinct. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
really, really nice.
And they're all coming soon. It's
Okay.
June, July, August.
Woo.
So,
All right.
This is the Roll and Write.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the one where you can. Have you played it?
It's flipping right, actually.
I don't think I've played this
The
game.
hook is that you can, when the monsters come up, you take someone else's board and mess up their board and give it back to them. Otherwise, it's a pretty standard polyomino.
Well, you can then deal with what they give you.
Yeah, you can.
You're just trying to put the monster in the worst location, but you're drawing polyominoes of different terrain types. I like it, although I do get a little like, oh, I gotta draw trees.
Yeah.
on my little piece here.
That's the issue there.
I bought a stamp.
A lot of people have done that,
for it, but the stamp I bought for it, the knob's like this big, but the squares are this big, so you have to like center it. I was like, that's a pain in the neck.
You can't see where it's going to land.
Got to center the
It's
stamp.
obscured.
Must center the stamp.
All right. So now we're going to the Great British Baking Show game. Now that's a cover that gets me excited.
That is a cool looking cover, actually.
I also like the way the cards look in the graphics. This is from Ravensburger, designer Frederica Scott Volrath. I don't know that name, actually.
No, it's interesting because
That's one of the bakers.
the artist gets credited on the, but you notice that the artist got credited on the box and not the designer. I don't know if I've ever seen that
They're
before.
just one of the bakers.
Interesting. You're bakers, and you got to recreate the configuration of baking cards and recipe cards. Yeah, I don't know what it's like.
I guess I don't care. I don't. Okay. I guess if you're a fan of the show, right?
You don't like baking shows or cooking shows?
Yeah, if it's like something to put on, sure. But
Oh, I like watching them. I like.
yeah,
Do you like cakes?
I do.
Okay.
All right, and a game that they're hoping will be worthy of its name, Evergreen. Which does not look like it will be, but you never know. Evergreen and board game terminology means a game that continues to sell all the time. It's evergreen, always
Well,
selling.
actually, that's a term just
Horrible
for
Guild and the
everything.
designer
That's
of
true.
photosynthesis, so that's a little interesting.
Yeah. He also did Railroad Inc.
That's right, yeah.
So planting sprouts, growing trees on your biome. I like how this looks.
I like that cover. I like the board.
This looks like a roll and write, but it's a board.
Yeah.
And we just reviewed that Merchants Guild thing, and this does what I wanted that one to do, where it has the little indentations to put your stuff.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. It does look a little sterile. Mm-hmm. No, I mean the board. The cover.
Right.
The cover looks like it makes me want to eat some broccoli. But
I love that cover. I really like the
cover.
look of it.
Yeah. It looks like a blacklight poster you'd have up in your room.
Yeah, there's something about it. There is an old timey Where's Waldo kind of vibe to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It looks good.
oh, more stuff Z likes.
Yeah.
Legends of Andor. We got a new expansion
Let's
coming
go.
for it. This is Legends of Andor. I'm not going to pronounce that. It's a standalone game, though.
Oh.
It's not expansion. 2 to 4 heroes. It's just more stuff.
I do
More
wonder if they're mixable things or if this is meant to be fully standalone. Don't worry or think about the other stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they continue to pump out stuff in this world. They've already had spin-offs, a few of them, 2-player game.
I wish they
and
had a big box
the
for it.
Reitberg one. Yeah.
Don't you think?
That'd be great if they had some sort of big box.
If they had a big box for it, that's the one thing that they really haven't quite figured
All right.
out.
Also, the Legend of Andor Big Box.
These are the ones- Here's the thing about this. This is, again, one of those weird big boxes.
Uh-huh.
They do this a lot, where it's the original game, Legends of Andor, some extra characters that came in a skinny little box, and then a few promos and things.
Yeah.
This is, I figured a big box means that first arc,
Right.
which was the original, and then 2 big box expansions. That's a big box.
And also,
That's
if you
a
own
big
the
box.
game already and this stuff, but you don't know those 3 promos, it's kind of like,
yeah, this is like to buy the entire game for a few bonus legenden? No,
But
okay?
you also get a bigger box.
That is tempting, but no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool boxes, Tribes of the Wind.
Yeah.
In a
I had to
post-apocalyptic
put
world,
this in there, man.
and a cover that I was telling Mike that it's obviously Vincent Dutrait, but I can tell his artwork by color.
The color palettes, yeah.
Because from a distance, I looked at that cover and I was like, Vincent Dutrait.
I know.
That's his style. I really like it.
That's a gorgeous cover.
I am so-
And
And
it's
the game looks fun, too.
post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic from,
Yeah, but this is-
from a publisher that I tend to like their games.
This is my type of post-apocalyptic.
Man,
I
yeah,
like,
it looks bright and colorful,
I like
right?
the regrown Earth.
Yeah.
Post-apocalyptic. That's my favorite
Yeah.
subgenre, where it's like it's technically post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
Where
you're
things
rebuilding.
That's the rebuilding phase coming
got you,
back.
I got you,
I
yeah.
love that. The Mad Max is more your style.
I'm going to say
I like
this
it
right
all,
now.
but yeah.
I'm going to say this right now. If we were doing, I'm going to say this right now. If we're doing a top 10 anticipated games, this would be on there. Just based off of what we know right here. I'm really excited about this.
Well, when's this
This
coming
looks
out? It does
really
not
good.
say.
I thought it said
27.
this year, but maybe
This might be an Essen release.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
This
Are
is
these
great.
the guys who did the Jus here, the ones who did that post-apocalyptic game that you like.
They did Outlive, which I like a whole lot.
That's theirs?
Yep.
Yeah, this is cool. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, the designer of this is Joachim Thom.
I'm not familiar with the name.
He did Wild Space.
Oh, that's right.
Wild Space is
It's a little card game. It was fine.
And Dicium.
What else is in there?
A bunch of Wild Space.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wild Space is not a bad little game.
Yeah.
Very Euro.
You like it more than I do.
I did like it. I thought it was good. You didn't like it that much?
I enjoyed it.
It's okay. I felt like it was very. I felt like I didn't get enough to do in the game. There wasn't. You only do so many options, and I wanted to do more.
Okay.
In that.
Okay.
All right. Well, here you can ride a wind farm.
Wild Space.
All right. Then we have Tokaido Duo. Antoine Balza and Funforge are showing this off. That board looks as big as Tokaido almost.
Yeah, this is all prototyping.
Might be a perspective thing, actually.
Yeah, so, he's had good luck with two-player versions, right? I mean, Seven Wonders Duel, obviously that was a co-design with Katala, but then I think this is a solo design for him.
If I'm following Funforge's track record, this game will be out 2046.
That is true.
Oh, my word, they're slow.
This is one I hope they don't kickstart. I really hope they just send this to retail because... I mean, I like a lot of what Funforge does.
Wasn't that last one like 3 years? It was a long time.
I'm still waiting on the Monumental expansion.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they just are really slow.
I like their stuff.
Yes, me too.
They're slow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, speaking of delays of games, Frosthaven. Well, I don't know. Someone was just telling me Frosthaven's probably coming out in 23 now. But anyway, delays.
Yeah.
But the app, Lucky Ducks, is making a companion app for Gloomhaven Frosthaven.
Yeah.
Now, there was a companion app, and I think we reported a few months ago, or someone told me at least, that it kind of went away. And I wondered why. This is why. So this is an official one. Lucky Duck makes the best apps in board gaming, I think, or at least companion apps.
They're up there. Yeah. Direwolf does good stuff too, but they're way up there.
So this is interesting.
Wow.
I don't know what it would be like to play with a companion app. That's interesting because I've already said that I don't want to play Gloomhaven anymore because the Steam version is so good, takes care of everything. But what if the app handled a lot of that busy work too?
Yeah, the one thing
then I could have that physical game experience again too.
The one thing it can't do is help you find those tiles. That's to me one of the most arduous things. I'm going to flip through all the tiles.
Yeah, but if they come out with that book,
the book,
and the companion
and the app. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
And then you take that book. If you can put the book in the companion app also.
If you can digitize
and
the
take
book.
the characters and digitize them. That might save you a lot of table space, is what I'm saying.
Speaking of saving space, you don't need to buy the next game. Azul. This is a new chocolate version. It's not chocolate. It's a chocolate-themed version of the original.
Good clarification, actually.
Well, when I first read this, I thought, interesting, but who would buy this? I'm like, oh, it's not actual chocolate. I say this because there is a chocolate Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
And I think there was a chocolate there's been chocolate Monopoly and stuff too.
Delicious.
Anyhow, this is themed chocolate, but it is the exact same game as the first one, which some people say is a money grab.
Tastes like greed.
and it is, but I don't mind companies doing this. If it gets more people to play games, what do I care? I don't have to buy it. I mean, Patchwork, they're doing it with Patchwork. They come out with a new version.
If they came out with a chocolate-themed Patchwork, I'd eat that.
So my question, though, is let's say you were going to buy one Azul. Would you pick this one or the original?
No.
I would personally pick the original.
This actually, sorry to interrupt you, but this is not a straight reprint from what I understand. They have to, because otherwise people would be like, this is the dumbest thing you've ever done. They're putting a small variant on the backs of the factories. This is how you sell something like this. You get people just enough that suckers have to buy it. I'm including all of us in that statement, by the way. Anyway, go ahead.
No. You made a more important point than I'm going to. I feel like the original fits. It's an abstract game, but it fits what theme is there more than this. We were talking about this yesterday. It wasn't my idea, but it was a very good point, so I'll steal it. I think that this makes the game more abstract than it was even to begin with.
Does this make you like Azul less?
The fact that this game exists makes me like Azul even less. And no,
I like the chocolate theme, though. I think this might attract me more than the original one.
I don't have a strong opinion on it, honestly. I'd be happy to play this. It looks nice, at least. It's a fine re-theme.
Fine. It's just like, I mean, in the original theme, It's a stretch.
Yeah.
I get it. But you were
Tiling a wall.
a wall, or decorating.
fell
So
to the
patterns
floor.
matter.
Yeah.
You're arranging chocolates in a box. What is happening?
Right.
Also, who cares what they look like? I just don't understand.
Oh, no.
How this is
It matters what
more-
they look like in the box. See, come on now.
No, you know what it looks like? That's
right.
what I.
You eat chocolate
It
out of
all-
a box?
it all looks
You
the
tilt the
same.
box
Yes.
and let the half-wrapped chocolates fall in your mouth and then
I have
spit
my
out the
own-
wrapping?
I have a chocolate funnel of my own design, mind you, that I like to abut to a box of chocolates. I know.
And that, folks, is the news
Kinda
for this week.
Kind of like.